Hello, second grade Smarties, and welcome to Unit 2, Week 2, Day 1 of your Fundations lesson. So last week we talked about bonus letters and we talked about the glued sound A-L-L, ball, all. This week, we are going to be talking about some more glued sounds that we learned about last year at the end of first grade. But first, we got some drill practice to do. Let's go. M, man, N, nut, Q, U, queen, qu. B, bat, b. D, dog, d. P, pan, p. All right, and some vowels. U, up, I, itch, I. A, apple, a. O, octopus, ah. E, ed, eh. All right, friends, now we're going to go into those R-controlled vowels. Remember, when we see R's that come after a vowel, it will be bossy and make the vowel and the R say a sound together. So, for example, when we see a R, it says R like car. So, A-R, car, R. We see O-R, it says O-R, horn, or. So when we see O-R together, it says or. Now, remember, Miss Mason is missing her ER card, but we have 3 R-controlled vowels that say like ER, her, So ER says IR says like in bird. So IR, bird, just like ER. And we have UR, and it says like in burn. EUR, burn, So ER, IR, and UR all say That's really tricky. So whenever we see words that have a UR in it or an IR in it, it's going to say All right. And then last week we learned ALL, ball, all. Great job, second grade Smarties. All right, we are going to move right along. So I told you just a second ago that we will be using some new glued sounds this week. And we are going to talk about some glued sounds that you have already seen. So the first one I'm going to show you is A-M. So repeat after me. A-M, ham, am. Okay, now it can be really tricky because we also have A-N, fan, an, but here's a trick to remember, okay? When I say a word that has am, when I finish saying that word, my lips are going to be closed. So if I have this word, okay, and when I have glued sounds, it's going to be that green tile, remember? So when I have the word ham, I would tap it, am, ham. Because I know that I'm ending that word with my lips together, it's going to get that A-M. A-M, ham, am. Okay? If I have a word that has that A-N, fan, and, my lips are apart and my tongue is between my teeth. A-N, fan, and. So, and, fan. And I tap with 2 fingers for that glued sound. So, and, fan. Okay, let's build some words together. So pause the video if you need to. Go get your letter board, and we're going to practice building some words that have that A-N, fan, and sound, and that am sound. All right, so pause it if you need to. All right, let's get going. All right, so for the first word, we are going to spell can. And can. So and can. Can. I hear that So and can. C-A-N. Good job. The next word we're going to build is ram. Am, ram. What letter says R? And what says am? A-M. Good job. So am, ram. Okay. And the last word, we're going to change ram to yam. So what is the only thing I'm going to switch? The R to a Y. Good job. So am, yam. Great job, second grade Smarties. All right, we are going to move right along, and we are going to look at some glued sounds. So we have explored these first three glued sounds, A-L-L, ball, all, A-M, ham, am, and A-N, fan, an. Now, we learned about these towards the end of last school year, okay? So we have glued sounds that can end in NG, and they all have a vowel in front of them. So when we see A-N-G, let me get my cards, we would say A-N-G, fang, like a vampire, A-N-G, fang, ang. You say it. Good job. Ang, A-N-G, fang, ang. When we see I-N-G, it says ing, like ring. So I-N-G, ring, ing. You say it. Good job. When we see O-N-G, it says O-N-G, ong, like in the word song. So O-N-G, song, ong. Good job. And when we see U-N-G, it says ung, like lung. So U-N-G, lung, ung. Okay? And now we have our glued sounds that end in N-K. So if you look at it like, if you look at the glued sounds that end in N-K, and I'm realizing there's a mistake right here. That's okay. Teachers make mistakes too. When we see the glued sounds for NK are going to make the same vowel sounds that they did for the NG. So, for example, A-N-K will say ank, like bank. A-N-K, bank, ank. Okay, when we see I and K, ignore those green tiles. But when we do see those when we do look at our letter board, we will not use those the yellow and the red tiles to build words. We will use our glued sounds because they make a sound together. Okay, so when we see I and K, it will say ink, like pink. So I and K, pink, ink. Miss Mason's shirt is pink. So think back to when we just talked about ing. It says ing. So when we see I and K, it's going to say ink. Okay, so the I isn't saying or I, is it? It sounds like a long E sound. Okay, when we see O and K, it says onk, like honk. So we would read this card as O-N-K, honk, onk. And when we see U and K, it's going to say unk, like junk. U-N-K, junk, unk. All right. So here is what we are going to do. We have some words So we have our card words, the words that we see on our card on top. But what we're going to do is we are going to tap out the words underneath. And these are all words that have those glued sounds, okay? So I want you to copycat what I do. When we tap these 3-letter glued sounds, we're going to use our 3 fingers. So for example, ang, rang. Do that with me. Ang, rang. A-N-G says ang. For our next word, ing, wing. Do it with me. Ing, wing. Great job. All right, our next one is long. Ong, long. We put that O and G together. And our last one is sung. Sung, sung. Great job. Now we're going to go into those in K. Remember, the vowels are going to sound the exact same as they did in the NG glued sound. So here we go. T, ank, tank. Good job. Do it with me again. T, ank, tank. Ink, rink. Ink, rink. Okay, O and K, B, onk, bonk. Do it with me again. B, onk, bonk. And U and K, like junk. This is a D. You can't really see it. Let's see if I can. There we go. Here we go. D, unk, dunk. D, unk, dunk. Great job. So friends, when we see words that have a glued sound, it's just like when we learned about ALL. When we see that glued sound, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a box around it because that will remind me that it is a glued sound. So I say these 3 letters together. So in honk, it would be onk, honk. So I need to remember that O and K says onk. So I would put a square around it. So onk, honk. All right, that's a lot of glued sounds, isn't it? All right, friends, we have 3 trick words this week. And so you will need your student notebook. And at the end of your notebook is where you have your trick words. So remember, your trick words go at the ends of the pages like this. And I'll give you a hint. This is one of our trick words today. We're going to have 3. Okay, so our first trick word that we are going to learn about is one that we see a lot when we are reading. And remember, trick words are words that we just have to know. We can't sound them out because sometimes the letters don't make the sounds that we usually hear them with. So our first word is both. What's the word? Both. Let's skywrite it. Ready? We're going to do big letters. Close your eyes. B-O-T-H. Both. What's this word? Now, if I was going to try to tap this out, it would be b-oth, both. But we don't say that when we read this word. Remember, these are just words we need to know. What was this word again? Both. I saw both, that means 2. I saw both of my friends together at the park. Both. The next 2 words are rhyming words. That means their ending sounds will sound the same. Squeaky. This is something that I am doing right now. Talk. What's this word? Talk. If I sounded this out, it'd be talk. We don't say that, right? Talk. What's this word? Talk. Let's skywrite it. T-A-L-K. Talk. I will talk to you in Google Meet. Talk. Okay? And I told you that our last word rhymes with talk. It is something we do with our feet when we need to get somewhere. We walk. Let's skywrite it. W-A-L-K. A L K, walk. Walk. Great job, second grade Smarties. Don't forget to put those 3 trick words in your student notebook. All right, second grade Smarties, keep that growth mindset. Look for words that have those glued sounds that end in NG and NK. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.